Travis Barker is an icon and one of the most influential drummers of the last 25 years. But few people know the true story about the man that went on to be one-third of the legendary rock band Blink-182, and many people don't know that Travis grew up in a working-class family in California. After graduating high school, his father pushed him to get out there and pursue drumming. It was either that or pay rent. Following his dad's advice, he left to go chase his dreams. While leaving home for the first time can be rough for any kid, you can call it a blessing for Travis. He grew up in a rough California town where jocks would often beat him up at school. He stated that if it wasn't for his school's music program, he would have dropped out. On top of him being bullied and picked on, a family tragedy left him feeling depressed and alone. In 1998, Travis was recruited by pop-punk band Blink-182 after their drummer Scott Rayner had left. Unprepared to hit the stage with his new bandmates, Travis still managed to pull it off. Blink went on to become one of the biggest bands of the 2000s. Even Bob Saget couldn't resist the trio. While Travis himself has gone on to drum in side projects like The Transplants and Boxcar Racer, he's still going strong with Blink, even after the departure of lead singer and Alien enthusiast Tom DeLonge. The group has truly been through it all. It's also important to acknowledge the horrifying plane crash that he experienced in 2008. A crash in which he was one of only 2 survivors, one that has left him with both physical and emotional scars. Since then, he has also dealt with the death of his friend DJ AM, fought a drug habit, and suffered several health issues as well as a car accident. But we are not here to focus on the negative. We want to celebrate the come up of one of the most insanely talented drummers on the planet, a man that truly inspired a generation. So if you want to learn more about the story of Travis Barker, then stay tuned. Travis Landon Barker was born on November 14, 1975 in Fontana, a city of around 200,000 in California's San Bernardino County. His mother Gloria was a babysitter. His father Randy is a Vietnam veteran who worked as a mechanic. Travis has honored his father in several Instagram posts on Veterans Day. He expressed high admiration for his old man, once stating, "With my childhood, I tell my kids, my son Landon and my daughter Alabama, that if I didn't have the dad I do, I'm not sure what would have happened. I probably would have ended up dead or in jail or something." Travis is the youngest of 3 kids and is of Irish, English, and Italian descent. He was raised Catholic. His family lived in a high-crime, poverty-stricken neighborhood of Fontana. During his podcast episode with Joe Rogan, he stated that in Fontana, you either fight or play football. He said that during his youth, he was even shot at. While this environment could have easily corrupted the boy at a young age, Travis was kept busy with various hobbies. At just 4 years old, his mom gave him his first drum kit. He began taking lessons from a local jazz musician named Michael May, who showed Travis the basics of the art. Travis's mom was highly involved in the early stages of his drumming. She would often attend his lessons and made sure that he kept up with his school studies. Over time, he discovered other instruments including trumpet and piano. His drumming stopped around the time he was 7. Believe it or not, he actually had his sights set on another pastime. California at the time was buzzing with skateboarders and BMX bikers, so naturally, Travis was drawn to the culture. He quickly developed an obsession with skating and soon felt that he wanted to do it professionally. He would skate everywhere he went. Unfortunately, after several injuries, he had to slow down and the possibility of skateboarding as a career became less of a reality. It was during this period that he and his friends would soak up many different types of music. Not only did he listen to his fair share of punk during this time, he also began his lifelong love affair with another genre. Yes, that is correct, Travis is an avid fan of rap music. He states that in just 1 year, he was introduced to Houdini, the Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, and Run DMC. Hearing these artists for the first time changed his life. As he got older, California would establish its own popular hip-hop scene, with the Alcoholics and Pharcyde being among his favorites. Travis fell in love with tattoos when he was just a kid. Before he officially got inked for the first time, he was carving drawings into his skin with a razor blade. At just 11, he wrote the name of his first girlfriend, Tony, into his leg. As for his first real tattoo, it was his nickname Bones, except Travis unfortunately does not have this tattoo anymore because it was burned off in the plane crash that he survived. We will come back to this shortly. While Travis took part in most of the activities a normal kid enjoys, his life was about to be turned upside down. So much so, it would have a lasting effect on him. Travis's parents were extremely proud individuals. He detailed that his dad once crashed his Harley and didn't even phone his family from the hospital because he didn't want them to be alarmed. The same goes for his mother when she got sick. Travis's mom, the person who believed in his drumming abilities the most, was diagnosed with cancer. She passed away 1 day before Travis started high school. Attending Fontana High School, Gloria Baker's death left a void in her son's life, one that he filled with drugs and sex. Reflecting upon his first experiences with sex, he stated, "I mean, it's all you think about as a teenage boy, you know? For whatever reason, it was always there for me. I always enjoyed it. It was better than doing drugs. It was right up there with skateboarding and playing the drums. I don't know if it's because I had mommy issues because my mom passed away so early. I don't know what it was." Gloria's passing also had a lasting effect on Travis's dad. Attending one of Blink's shows years later, Randy heard Mark and Tom joking back and forth about having sex with each other's moms. Not uncommon for two vocalists, Randy came backstage after the show and he was absolutely furious, believing they were referring to his son's mother as well. Travis had to convince him they weren't. The two singers knew how sensitive of a subject Gloria's death is to the Barker family. One of Gloria's final wishes for Travis was for him to pursue drumming. According to the musician, her final words to him were, "Play the drums and don't care about anything else in life but doing the things you love." Travis dedicated himself to the art of drumming. He and his best friend would enter competitions. Travis even played the snare drum in the Fontana High School marching band. Graduating from Fontana in 1993, he left home not long after, where he took up work at a Target warehouse as well as a job as a garbage worker in Laguna Beach. At this point in time, he had very little money. He was even sleeping on a friend's couch. The guy got used to the touring lifestyle pretty early. In his spare time, he would play for two different local rock groups, Snot and Feeble. Playing with Feeble, he met lead singer Chad Larson. Travis impressed the vocalist so much that Chad later asked Travis to fill in as a drummer for his band, the Aquabats. Playing with the group, he earned the name Baron Von Tito. In 1997, the band toured with Blink-182, whose then current drummer, Scott Rayner, was preparing to leave the band. We mentioned during the intro that Travis was highly unprepared to fill in when they approached him, but the dude absolutely killed it. In 2018, footage actually resurfaced of Travis's first ever show as a Blink drummer. Mark Hoppus and Tom DeLonge had a few more disputes with Scott Rayner when the musician tried to re-enter the band. They eventually fired him, making Travis their new official drummer. The man was like a miracle coming down from the heavens. In June 1999, the newly reformed Blink-182 dropped Enema of the State. The record was a smash, selling 15 million copies worldwide. Travis was officially a star. 4 years ago, I couldn't afford to feed myself, and now I can buy art, work on old Cadillacs, and live in comfort. I can finally buy a dog and afford to feed him. Travis went on to release two more successful albums with Blink from 2001 to 2008. Over this time, Travis lived the rockstar lifestyle, as he married Melissa Kennedy in 2001, but divorced the following year. In 2004, he would marry model Shauna Moklar, and the two did have a brief reality TV series together called Meet the Barkers. Travis would divorce her in 2006. Around this time, Travis was also doing a large number of collaborations by touring with Fall Out Boy and working with other bands like Plus 44. In 2008, after a performance in South Carolina, Travis and DJ AM were on a private plane back to California when the plane malfunctioned on the runway, causing the plane to run through the airport fences and through a highway, bursting into flames. This catastrophe claimed the lives of 4 other people, the 2 pilots, Sarah Lemon and James Bland, as well as Travis's personal assistant Chris Baker and Charles Monroe Still Jr. Barker spent more than 11 weeks in hospitals and burn centers. He had 16 surgeries, blood transfusions that lasted 48 hours, and numerous skin grafts. Barker also developed post-traumatic stress disorder, made worse by the intense guilt he felt knowing that Still wasn't supposed to be on the plane. During his time in the hospital, Barker was in so much pain that he was calling friends, offering them $1 million to help him and end his life. It was a dark place in his life, but Travis showed true resilience and was able to push through and eventually continue to make music. Travis's accident led to a reunion in 2009 for Blink-182, which they announced at the Grammys that year. The group would go on to release 3 more albums, Neighborhoods, California, and Nines, as well as go on a number of tours together. Travis would continue to collaborate with more hip-hop artists such as XXXTentacion, Post Malone, and MGK. Most recently, in July of 2021, Barker signed an exclusive worldwide publishing administration deal with Warner Chappell Music. As of January 2021, Barker has been in a relationship with reality television star Kourtney Kardashian. Now, while you may be concerned about the Kardashian curse, this relationship appears to have a very positive influence on Travis, as during the relationship, he has returned to air travel after avoiding airplanes for 13 years since the crash. And in October 2021, the couple got engaged, and they really do look like one of the happiest couples in Hollywood. Thanks for checking out this video, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave a comment for who you would like to see us feature next.